I'm Bensette, founder of the Bossy Babe brand, fitness coach, and serial entrepreneur turned intuitive life and business coach. The Wealthy Babe podcast is for the ambitious, courageous, and spiritually charged up woman in network marketing, craving wealth not only in her bank account, but in every aspect of her life. Get plugged in here each week for authentic and unfiltered conversations from myself and industry leaders who are going to support you and give you all the juicy behind the scenes and real talk around business, spirituality, strong points of view, and doing shit differently. This is a safe space to come undone, be heard, and be given permission to rewrite your own damn rules. So here we go. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Wealthy Babe podcast. I am so happy you are here, and I hope that you are just digging this series. So today we are talking all about being able to surrender in order to receive. And I love this topic so much because in order to receive, in order to receive abundance, in order to receive clients, in order to receive customers and money and wealth, you need to be able to let go. You need to be able to surrender and trust. And what I mean by this has a lot to do with you. It has to do with you being able to trust yourself. It has to do with you being able to surrender to your purpose that is so much bigger than you, and being able to let go that you are serving something that is so much bigger than you. A lot of the time we think that we are choosing our purpose. We are thinking that we are choosing our business and we're choosing that next step. But when you can tune out and tune in, you can really allow yourself to get into alignment, to hear the whispers and the nudges in your soul that are being given to you to guide you into that next best step. I can 100% say that where I'm at right now was not necessarily where I thought I was going to be, especially not when I was a really young girl and I was in elementary school thinking that I was going to grow up to be a teacher. And that was totally what I thought I was going to do. I went through university. Initially, I was going to be fashion marketing and management, and I was going to go to a very prestigious school and go in the fashion field, which is definitely not my realm anymore. But there are so many different paths in my life. I was in the health and fitness realm. I had a t-shirt company. I was a fitness coach and I was a fitness instructor. And so there's a lot of different paths that my life has taken me, and showing up now as an intuitive life and business coach for female entrepreneurs and network marketers, I can tell you 110% that this has nothing to do with me. This purpose is something that was given to me. I was guided into this space, and it's because I turned off all the noise and I was able to listen in my soul what that next best step was and what I was guided to do. And so the purpose in which I'm serving right now and the purpose that I'm going to continue to serve, and I can almost guarantee that even in this space right now, right where I am right now, I still have no idea the impact I'm going to make in the world, because this purpose, like I said, it's not ours. It's given to us, whether you believe in God or the universe. It's given to us by something so much bigger than us. And so it's up to us to be able to turn off and to tune in, so that we can listen to these nudges and listen to these whispers and really be able to take action and take that next best step based on what we're being told and guided to do. Because when we turn off and we can just tune in, we are going to be given those nudges and those whispers and be able to hear our intuition on what we should do and what offer to take or what to launch next or what thing to let go of or the people to release. Your gut always knows, right? Your gut always knows. And I can guarantee you that there are so many times in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I know I should have done that, or I just knew that was the next best step, or oh dang, I should have listened to my gut. Right? You're having that moment, and I 100% can resonate and know where you're coming from, and know that I feel you on such a soul freaking level, because I was in that same space. And so everybody has their different moment. Everybody has a different time or flash in their life where that message comes through them, right? That message comes through them, and they know that that's what they're supposed to do next. But in order for you to be able to be open to hear it. You have to be able to surrender that you're not showing up for yourself. You're showing up for something so much bigger than you. And you need to be able to hear and be receptive to what those nudges are. And it's really, really hard for you to be able to be receptive and to be open to those if you're not trusting yourself, if you're consistently downloading and over consuming in other people's content or other people's information and their courses and their videos and all of the things that they put out. If you're over consuming other people's content, then you're going to have a really, really tough time in being able to know what your voice is and being able to trust yourself and really be able to serve from your purest part of your soul. Because it's not that anything's wrong with you. It's something that we all get caught up in, and it's something that we all have to diligently work on. And I know that this is something that I have been caught up in this myself in the past. And even to this day, I still get caught up in scrolling social media or looking at different people's profiles or their content and be like, oh my gosh, I wish mine was as good as theirs, or I wish I could make a post like theirs, or I wish I could do a live video like theirs. And in that moment, am I standing in a space that's really empowered? Am I trusting myself and my own brilliance? Am I going to feel confident to go and share my message in that space? Probably not, right? Because I'm in a space where I'm focusing on what other people are doing, and my head and my mind and everything's filling up with them, that I can't tune into me and I can't tune into my ideal client. So I want you to assess right now and think to yourself and journal on this, whatever it takes for you to answer. Do you trust you? Do you trust your brilliance? Do you trust your message? Or are you downloading so much that you're over consuming, losing your voice, and regurgitating? Oh my goodness. That is a tongue twister, you guys. Other people's messages. Right? Are you sharing other people's messages? Are you using their voice? And it's not to say, you guys, that we can't learn from other people and use those teachings. But what I mean by this is that, are you using it in your voice based on your experience, based on what you've done with this? It's really important to recognize the difference, because I do truly believe that there is no new information out there. We're all learning it from somewhere, some way, somehow, whether it's a book, it's an event, it's a mentor, it's a coach. We're learning this information, and it's not like it's new. Okay, the stuff I'm talking here right now about, it's not that you've never heard this before. I'm sure maybe you have. Maybe you've never heard this before, and I'm the first person you're hearing it from, and that is amazing and incredible. But there's also a very real chance that you've heard about this from someone else at a different time. But the difference is that I'm sharing this with you based on my own words, my own experience, and being able to see this play out in my life. And so I'm sharing this to you in my voice. And that's what makes the difference, right? So it's not always about necessarily having some groundbreaking information that has never been heard in this world before, because that's almost near impossible at this point. But it's, how can you make it yours? What does your ideal client need, right? What we believe in, what we know, right? Our truth gets lost, and we get disconnected from our ideal client and what she needs, right? We get disconnected from alignment, and we can't receive in that space if we are over downloading other people's information, over consuming and just scrolling and living in other people's content and being just receiving so much stuff in that your head is almost like so crowded that you can't even remember at this point who you're talking to. And again, if you've been there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so me, girlfriend, I know, I feel you, but it's okay, right? It's okay. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you move through it. There was actually a time, I wanted to share this story. There was a time where when I had first launched my program, I was actually in a group coaching course, and we had a support community on Facebook for this program where we could share our progress, share what we're working on, get support, get answers, ask questions. And I shared my landing page, my sales page for this program that I was launching. And shortly after, I don't even know if it was days or a week, but I actually seen somebody else, another woman in the program, who had posted about her offer. She posted her sales page. And when I went and clicked on the sales page, it was word for word mine. I read it and I was like, oh my goodness, this looks so familiar. And then I put mine side by side, and I was like, oh my gosh, she literally took my entire sales page and just copied it and then put it on hers. And I was blown away. But here's the thing. What I noticed was within a few days or even a week, again, I can't remember the timeline, but shortly after she had posted this, she posted again being like, why are people not resonating? Why am I not making sales? Why are people not signing up? And by this point, I had like 14 or 15 people signed up for my program, and nobody was signing up for hers. And so what I recognized here, and what I really seen to be so incredibly true, was that people are not drawn to the content, necessarily the information, how you're wording it. What matters is the energy you have behind it. And when she put my words on her product and her offer, it wasn't hers anymore. It became mine. And people could feel that she couldn't have the confidence in sharing it because they weren't her words. She didn't know what she was talking about. She was so disconnected from herself and her ideal client that she was in a space where she was over consuming. She was in comparisonitis. She was looking at everybody else, and instead of trusting her gut, instead of trusting what was in her heart, instead of trusting what was in her soul, she took my work, and that did not resonate with her ideal client. It didn't make sense for them, and therefore it was out of alignment, and she could not receive. So I really don't know what happened at that point, because to be real, that was enough for me to hear. I didn't need to go and send her a message or reach out to her about it, because in the long run it didn't work for her. And I knew that if it's not her voice, if it's not her message, if it's not what is in her heart and her soul, it's not going to convert, and her ideal client is not going to feel impacted by it whatsoever. And so that's really what happened. My sales page got hijacked. And I've experienced this, being on, both ends of this. I have seen myself get so caught up in what other people are doing and just posting and sharing these things and not seeing a return on it, not seeing the engagement that I really wanted to, because it wasn't coming from me. But when I was able to tune out, or really tune in, I guess is the way I should say it, when I was able to tune into myself, but be able to let go and surrender, the most incredible divine downloads would come through me. And I was so able to listen to what's in my heart, listen to what my ideal client needs, get in her head, and be able to serve her from a really authentic and beautiful space. And this is when my content was powerful. This is when I had the messages of women reaching out and saying, oh my gosh, girlfriend, like, you are speaking to my soul. You said everything that I needed to hear. How are you in my head? And that is how I know when I'm completely in alignment, and because it becomes effortless, right? Women are connecting with it because I'm walking in their shoes. I'm not concerned in that moment with what other people are doing or the message I think people want to hear. I'm consumed in what's coming through me from a higher purpose, a higher guide, and I'm letting it come through me because I am just a vessel, right? You are just a vessel. Your body is a vessel, right? If I love to explain it this way, is that you personally have your intuition, you have your gut, and then you have your voice, right? You have your fingers, you have your messaging, you have the ability to speak. Now, your intuition is the only connection to your higher purpose or to your higher guide, your intuition, right? Your stomach, your gut, those little nudges, those whispers you feel, that is the only connection you have to your higher guide and what that next step is for you. And so you have to allow it to come through you, follow your intuition, follow those nudges, follow those whispers, and then use your voice and use your body as a vessel to share that message, right? That's all you are. And so a lot of the time, whether it comes to my content or it comes to, say, a course or something I'm creating or putting out into the world, it takes me to be able to step back and, of course, stop consuming everyone else's information, focus on me filling my cup up, being that woman that my ideal client needs, and really tuning into what she needs to hear in this moment. But it really comes down to being able to shut off what everyone else is doing, right? I have to shut that off and allow my guide to speak through me. And when my guide speaks through me, the messages that need to come through me do. And that is when it's so freaking effortless and when things convert with ease, because my message is not my own. So if I'm trying to create the message myself, it's always going to feel out of alignment, and it's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to be really hard, and it's going to be difficult to receive the abundance and the wealth and the clients and the sales through that, because I'm not tuning in, right? I'm trying to create. But when I can just shut off from that and be able to just surrender and let go and trust in myself and trust in my brilliance and trust in my message, I can tell myself whatever needs to come through me will come through me. Whatever they need to hear, they will hear. And in that moment, that is when I have the most effortless lives, the most effortless podcast interviews, or the most effortless podcast episodes that I'm creating, or the most beautiful programs that fill up and sell out. It's when it's coming from a space of a divine download, when it's coming from a space of service and love and connection, not from a space where I'm sitting and I'm, racking my head over and over and over again. What should I talk about? What should I create? That's not the space where it's going to come from. And that's not going to create, this effortless abundance in my life. That is going to make it feel really hard and really difficult. So some tips, what I want you to do is to really focus on uploading, okay? Uploading versus downloading. So upload your content, upload your ideas, your content, the things that are on your heart, the things that you're being guided to share. Upload so much more than you download. It's okay to have a coach. It's okay to consume some podcasts, consume some information, but there comes a point where you have to shut off and you have to limit what you're bringing in, because if you're consistently consuming more than you're uploading, you're going to lose your message and you're going to lose your voice. So get out of your own head, right? Get off other people's social media and reconnect to your brilliance and who you are serving and what it is that she needs. I already did an episode on knowing who your ideal client is and how to find her and how to serve her. So go back to that episode, go back to the notes, go back to the journaling, go back to the workbook and reassess that and think, what does she actually need, right? Like, not what am I seeing on social media? What is working well for other people, but what does my ideal client need? Because this is something that, again, we can get really caught up in social media, is focusing so much on what other people are doing, that we start talking about that, and it might very well not be anything that our ideal client needs. It might not be where she's at. It might not be in the language that she receives it in. It might not be in her verbiage. And it just might not be the space. It might not be the outcome she actually wants. It might not be the level or the space that she's even in or the stage she's in. So we have to be really diligent about that, because that's when our content isn't converting, is when we're speaking in someone else's language and someone else's voice. Our ideal client can't feel that on a soul level because it's not meant for them. So how do you get out of your own head? Right? You're probably sitting there and saying, Autumn, that's really amazing, but how do I start? What do I do? How can I allow myself just to shut off and tune in? So something that I really love to do, and something that I always get my clients to do is, and again, this is going to look different for each person because there is no one right way. This comes down to who you are and how you disconnect and how you shut off and how you connect back to center and into the universe and into that next best step for you. But some of the things that I like to do, or some of my suggestions, are meditate, right? You can, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it doesn't need to be some hour-long deep meditation, but being able to take 5 to 10 minutes just to put your phone away and to shut off and tune in and just listen to your soul and listen to those nudges is so freaking powerful. Go for a lunch with your mom or your friend or a family member or someone that lights you up and can allow you, again, just to shut off, be in the moment and feel really amazing. Go for lunch with them. Treat yourself. Go for a walk in nature, right? Go to a park, go walk outside, just be able to soak up the world, soak up the energy that the world and nature and Mother Earth gives you. There's something so powerful about that when you are able just to tune out and look at the world and see how big and beautiful it is, in comparison to us. Like, you look at that and you look around at the sky and you look at the trees growing and the grass growing, and you see how abundant this world is, and you see how much beauty there is, and it allows you just to get out of your own head for a moment and realize how beautiful this is and how your purpose is so needed in this world. And when you can tune out, and I know that every single time I go for walks or I go out in nature and I just ground myself, something you can do is, especially if you are out in nature and you're going outside, you're going for a walk, go into the grass and take your shoes off and just feel the grass, feel the earth in your feet, get grounded, allow yourself to root yourself down and just feel connected to the earth, because that is life force, that is abundance. And when you can just allow it to come through you and visualize these roots almost growing right through you and being one with it, it is powerful and it is such an amazing experience. So you can do something like that, right? Go for a walk, meditate, go for lunch, have a bath with some candles, make it a really pretty experience. Shut off, watch some Netflix with your man, have a dance party. Just put on some good tunes, put on your favorite playlist right now, and then just let it out and dance. Go for a workout, get a blowout, have a glass of champagne, do something to create joy and to create pleasure in your life. Honor your inner goddess, right? Being a goddess isn't about always doing the things. It's about being her, right? It's about being that next level version of her. And you can become that next level version of her by sometimes doing some of these things and allowing yourself to experience pleasure and joy. And so by doing that, you're going to have these divine downloads that come through you, right? They don't come when you're looking for them. They don't come when you have your face in your phone or when you're scrolling on other people's content or with your eyes like so sore because you're staring at your computer for so long and you're like, I just have to do one more thing. I just have to make one more post. I just have to create this thing. I just have to come up with an idea for my launch or a name for my program. It's not going to come to you in those spaces. When you get back to your essence and you allow yourself to feel instead of do, you're going to let it come through you and it is going to be freaking beautiful. And then it's going to be so natural and you're going to say, oh my gosh, why did I force it this long? Like this feels so right. This feels so good. I know 110% this is my next best step. This is the message I need to share. This is the name for my program that is meant to fit it. This is the most incredible, beautiful idea ever. It's just going to come through you and you're going to wonder what the heck happened. And that is when you know you are in pure alignment. So surrender to your intuition, surrender to your brilliance, tap back into you, tap back into who you are, right? When your idea comes from a place and you have no idea how it even came to be, and it just comes over and you're like, I have no idea how this even happened. I have no idea how this is the most perfect idea and why this feels so damn good, but it just does. That's when it sells with impact, and that's when it sells with ease. That is what you want, right? But you're not going to do it when you're over consuming and you're over downloading and you're not trusting yourself. That is the quickest way to get into overwhelm. It's the quickest way to get burnt out. It's the quickest way to spend a lot of time creating something that doesn't really make an impact in other people's lives. So it's so important that because you're going to go through this season. So I hope that this is hitting you at the right time. If not, and maybe you're not in the season right now, this message is here for when you need it, because we all go through it. I go through it. My clients go through it. So many people go through it. And it's not about being perfect 100% of the time and not stepping into the space. What it's about is knowing how to tap back out of it and how to recognize when you are in a space of overconsumption, when you're downloading too much, when you are in comparisonitis and over scrolling and taking on other people's voice, being able to assess that you feel out of alignment and being able to assess that something's off here and knowing how to tap back into alignment and how to shut off those voices and start uploading versus downloading again. So you guys, I hope that you love this episode. I hope that you are so ready to turn off your scrolling, turn off your social media, and go tap back into you so you can allow your intuition, allow your goddess, allow your guide, God, whoever it is that you feel connected to and who you know guides you. I hope that you are ready to surrender and trust back into your voice, trust your brilliance, and trust your message, and allow the universe to provide, allow yourself to receive that abundance and receive wealth from a place that feels really good. And you're going to do that through surrendering. Every single time I surrender, every single time I just let go and I allow myself to trust myself, brilliance freaking happens. So now I'm passing this on to you, and I cannot wait to see how this impacts your life as well. So again, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Thank you so much for trusting in yourself again and just sharing your space and your time with me. So make sure, if you haven't already, go download that workbook, go get it, go. It's free, right? It's free, and it's going to help you answer these questions. It's going to allow you to dig a little bit deeper and take the action that you need to in your life and in your business. So go download the workbook if you haven't already. It's totally free. And then, of course, it would mean the world to me if you shared this episode, if you shared that you loved it, if you shared that this impacted you. whether it's on your Facebook, it's on your social media, it's on your Instagram stories. If this meant something to you and you found a nugget or a juicy piece of information that hit home for you and it allowed to spark some change, or it allowed you to spark that, you're surrendering and your trust again, and it made an impact in your life, that's what lights me up. That's what keeps me going. That's what makes me see that this is information that women need. So if you share it, that would mean the world to me. And as always, please rate and review. This will allow me to, of course, get my message out to even more women and to bring on more incredible guests for you. So I hope that you have the most incredible day, and we are going to see you in the next episode.